Hi, it's Brandon from thirstgym.com. Today we're talking about exercise called the Gorilla Kettlebell Row. This is a great, unique bent over kettlebell row option. It's really nice as it's going to challenge our trunk strength, our back strength, and even our hip strength with the position that we're in. It's also just a great variation of just bent over rows that's, I think, a safer, better alternative. And it also lets you be true on your positioning as well. So one big pitfall that we have with the bent over row, barbell, dumbbell, doesn't matter, is that when we're in this position, usually what we find is as the weights get heavier, we stand up more and more so that we continue to be able to do reps. They're not good quality reps. I want to make sure first we can try to stay bent over parallel to the floor as much as we can. That's going to optimize the upper back use we're going to get. It's going to let us get a full range of motion, and overall it's just going to be a better exercise. The more we drift up, a little bit of angle torso is okay, but usually what we find is people start sacrificing their technique just to be able to add more weight. This exercise is great because it helps eliminate that. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our feet wider than hip width, usually kind of like, almost like a sumo stance, maybe a little bit wider than your squat stance. And basically we're going to have two kettlebells in between our hips. What we're going to do is we're going to push our hips back, make sure our chest is relatively parallel to the floor, and then we're going to row both kettlebells simultaneously while being in that stance. And you're going to find that it's going to be overall a lot more challenging than just a standard bent over dumbbell row. So we're going to be here, again, back good neutral, push my hips back, feel my middle arch, my heels, have my kettlebells here, and then what we're going to do, I like to feel my hands first to make sure I'm in a good quality position. So actually kind of push down on them before you go to pull, push down, feel. Just like that. So I think really the name and the position comes from, when you think of a gorilla, they're bent over, and think of the Donkey Kong kind of stuff where he's basically just hitting the ground. Same kind of concept when you perform this exercise. As you saw whenever I started, I had them a little too close. I hit my knee, so I basically just shifted a little bit forward, had the weight a little bit more forward so I can continue to bring my elbows back. So when it comes to an exercise like this, I personally think 8 to 12 reps is a good place to be. I think dropping below 8 reps, you start to get really heavy, and I think personally, honestly, you're better off just doing some kind of chest supported based work or some cable work if you want to try to get some heavier rowing option in and try to maintain a good quality position. They give us as trying to accumulate more volume in that position. I also think this replicates really well with people like the wrestlers and MMA and jiu-jitsu people, how they're having to bend over, holding legs, grabbing stuff. This really kind of lends towards that kind of population, and it seems more applicable. But I also just like it because if we can be strict on the exercise technique versus if we're just bent over, it's kind of subjective of how far bent over you are, because then you can also talk, well, they don't have the hamstring mobility, and then you just go down this big rabbit hole of why you can and can't do it. This kind of just takes that away from me. If the athlete can get in a good quality position and maintain a neutral spine in this position, I think it generally looks good. We like to roll with it. So 3 to 4 sets, about 8 to 12 reps, and I think you'll find it's a good spin on your standard bent over row. Got any questions, leave them in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.